What's up everybody, Yaga here. Today we're going to be looking at my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017.
Here we go!
Alright, so before we get into this list, I do have some honorable mentions. And I know a few of these figures that are seen here are not Marvel Legends, but they do warrant a nice mention because they are fantastic for your display. And I don't know what it is about this figure, but this Beetle figure just stands out to me. I don't know if it's the paint. I wasn't really anticipating this when I first got it, but then in hand, I just find myself throughout the year, I kept looking at it. Like, I just think it's a really kick-ass figure. Like, good paint. I don't know. Maybe it's the colors, whatever it is. It's awesome. Then we get the Walgreens Human Torch. Really great figure. It's another step closer to completing a Fantastic Four set, which we should be able to do later this year. I really dig this figure, and if you have fire effects of any kind, Tamashii Nation, shit like that, it's going to make the figure look just like this, like friggin' awesome. Now, this Elsa Bloodstone figure came pretty close to being on my top 10. She came from the A-Force box set, and it wasn't even one of the figures I was excited to get in the set, but then in hand, same thing with the Beetle. I just kept looking at this figure, like, I don't know, I'm drawn to it, like it's a really cool figure, good sculpt. I don't know if it's the hair, just, it looks great. And kind of the same story with this Malekith from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Thor set. Wasn't too excited about this figure, but then when I got him in hand, the more I really started to like it. And then we got Colossus here from the Warlock Build-A-Figure, and Colossus is one of my favorite X-Men. If it's X-Men, you can guarantee it's going to be either a mention or on my top 10. This figure is pretty solid. I hope we see him soon with a more classic costume. And then we got the Ares there, which was an old Build-A-Figure from a long time ago that they re-released for a nice $20, which is great. Anytime it comes to new action figures, I just don't pay secondhand prices because Hasbro seems to understand that now, and they just keep re-releasing this stuff in like mass amounts. So don't ever double, triple pay for any of this stuff, folks. Just don't do it. And I had to give a mention to this Marvel Select Planet Hulk because he is just freaking awesome, dude. Like, the paint, the size, the look. Marvel Selects are great. And I know it's not a Marvel Legend, but I don't care. He deserves to be mentioned in this list as one of the just awesome Marvel figures of 2017. And of course I have to mention Rocket and Groot. They're both Marvel Select too, and these guys are just great. Like, this is the best Groot for anything. It beats the Marvel Legends figures they've released a couple times. The comic book version, the movie version, this is just the best Groot and the best comic Rocket, in my opinion. Alright, at number 10 I've got the Netflix series Bullseye, which is on the SpiderMan 2099 body, and you know, this figure grew on me. I know a lot of people have it on their list and they were super excited about it. I wasn't that excited about this character, but again, the more I looked at him and he was sitting on the display, like, the more I was drawn to it. Like, he is a pretty sweet figure. This is a great body sculpt. I can't wait to see what other figures are going to be putting on this. And the number 9 spot goes to the Vulture figure from the Spider-Man 2-pack. I honestly don't know why this figure's not getting more love. I haven't seen it on any list that I've been watching on YouTube, but I really dig this figure. I think, you know, I know a lot of people want the classic Vulture from Spider-Man, but, you know, this is a pretty sweet figure nonetheless, even though it's a newer version of the character. I like it a lot. I was super excited when it came out, and I like the paint. I love the wings, the different head sculpts. You get the helmeted head, this head here. I don't know. I just really dig it, man. And the number 8 spot goes to the black symbiote Spider-Man from the Sandman Build-A-Figure wave. Always been a fan of Spider-Man in this suit. When I was really excited when this figure came out, I think he looks great. A lot of interchangeable hands and accessories. I really dig him. This Spider-Man body is the best by far, and I hope they keep using it. And my number 7 spot for my top Marvel Legends is this boar figure from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this past year. Again, not a figure that I was very familiar with, but when I got him, man, what a kick-ass figure for 20 bucks if you were able to pick him up. I mean, he's huge. There's a ton of paint, good sculpt work, accessories. Looks like a killer Viking. I mean, again, that's the whole theme with most of these figures on my list are the figures I just keep have on display and I keep looking at like, man, that's a badass figure, and this is a badass figure. My number 6 spot goes to Darkhawk, and again, another figure. I had no clue really who he was, but for some reason this figure just looks awesome. It's fun to have on display. I like the wings. You can totally see him doing a comic book version of either Falcon or Vulture in the future here. So keep it up, Hasbro. And the number 5 spot goes to Hela from the Hulk, Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure. This is a great figure, man, and this can double as a comic book version or movie version. I prefer comic book characters over the movie figures, but just a really cool figure. She looks great in my Thor cosmic setup. Gave her that Marvel Select sword, but dude, what a really, really great figure. Number freaking 5. And the number 4 spot is going to go to Shatterstar from the Warlock Build-A-Figure. Anytime it's an X-Men figure, you're going to see me have this, like I said, on my top 10s or honorable mention list because I am really partial to anything X-Men, and this figure is awesome. Just a cool figure, great to add to the X-Men collection. And then the number 3 spot has to go to the Dark Phoenix from the Cyclops Phoenix 2-pack. I would throw the Cyclops in here as well, even though I wasn't super excited about the Cyclops. He is actually a really great classic Cyclops, good paint. And this is the Dark Phoenix that at least I always wanted. That head sculpt is amazing. You can use that old Toy Biz effect in the back, which I am using, and also Tamashii Nation's Anything Fire. You can get a lot of cool display options with this figure. Quite impressive. And my number 2 figure is the Gimli Cyclops from the Warlock Build-A-Figure. Of course, like I said, anything X-Men is going to be high up there on lists for me the more Hasbro keeps releasing these guys, and we've got some good stuff to look forward to in 2018. You know, if this thing came with a blast effect and a screaming head, it would probably be my ultimate Cyclops figure, but still, nonetheless, I've always wanted the Gimli like this. I grew up on the 90s cartoons, so this gets my number 2 spot. And the number 1 spot has to go to Angela from the Titus Build-A-Figure wave. I mean, I didn't know who the character was until this character was announced, and then I looked it up. Now I'm well versed. You know, it was an old Spawn character, move over to Marvel from McFarlane, la-di-da-di-da. And then now she's like Thor's sister. Cool, cool, cool. But, man, this figure is just probably the best female figure that Marvel Legends has ever released. I've seen this figure on a lot of top people's 10s. Some of them number 1s, at least high up there on the list. And she is my number 1 by far. I can't help but not continuously look at this figure. I mean, the paint, the body sculpt, all the detail, the hair, the weapons, everything is awesome. And even in the package, she looks great. I have one in the package still that I'm just going to keep because even when you see it in the store in the package, this figure was just freaking amazing. Angela gets number 1 on my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2017. Alright, and so there you have it, guys. That's my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2017. What did you think of this list? You know, let me know what your top 10 Marvel Legends were for the year. I like to know. Also, I'll be doing a video probably here soon about my top 10 worst Marvel Legends of 2017, because there were quite a few of those as well. Not everything is always going to be a home run, I understand that, but nonetheless, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, like, share, And don't take yourself too seriously, folks.